Susie Sausage Head.
So, let me tell y'all about the time Susie Sausage Head was getting hot and steamy with one of her favorite guys. They were in the backseat of his car, parked at a grocery store parking lot at night after leaving the gym. They'd met up and worked out together, knowing that afterwards they were going to do this very thing. They enjoyed risky behavior like this. It was kind of their thing. And though they didn't meet up a lot, they made the most out of each encounter. Susie Sausage Head had met her fave through family several years back, and though they were never serious with each other, they always maintained a tight bond and spent time with one another on dates and working out. It was like having a best friend that you hugged and kissed in a special way. He was good at it too, and at that very moment, in the backseat of his car, listening to the freakiest soundtrack one could ever curate, he was showing out, pulling every trick out the bag. He knew she liked it too. Susie Sausage Head didn't know if it was the adrenaline from the workout or her fave's vibe, but she was ready to get to the good part. Susie lifted her fave's face from his meal to indicate that she was ready for the main course when he resumed his feast. Mind you, this was nothing to complain about, but her engine had been primed enough and it was ready to do the dash. "Put me in, coach. I'm so ready." But apparently, he wasn't. Susie Sausage Head laid back and chilled for a few more minutes before she sat up completely and insisted that they move forward with the hugging and kissing in a special way. At this, her fave was forced to admit that she was alone and being game ready. It seemed that his coaxing and negotiations had fallen upon deaf ears as his soldier refused to stand at attention. Well, a small thing to a giant, Susie thought, and put her best foot forward with her negotiating strategies and techniques. Alas, it was all for naught. Her rigorous campaign to reach a mutually favorable compromise was stonewalled and shut down, met with an indifferent disobedience that was utterly alien and unfamiliar. With defeat firmly acknowledged, the music was cut and the night called. To say that Susie Sausage Head took this personally would be a gross understatement. Never in the history of her had this happened before, and she was determined to investigate the matter. Nothing like a good mystery for Susie. She began with asking around to his family and friends, in a roundabout way, of course. As it turns out, she didn't have to ask far. The girlfriend of his brother was all too happy to spill all of his tea. As it turns out, her fave had recently started dating a girl, and though he was still doing him, she, the new girlfriend, was determined to change his wild ways. This new girlfriend of her favorite guy was also a practitioner and had shared with the brother's girlfriend that she had done some work on the fave to make sure that he could not ever perform, i.e. hugging and kissing in a special way, with any other woman outside of her. The fave didn't know this yet because the brother's girlfriend didn't know whether or not to take the girl seriously about it and actually thought it was all a joke. That wasn't until Susie mentioned something, and in that moment, she and everyone else knew it was real. The end.